Here we go. We'll call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Roll call, please.
Mayor Bosfus.
Here.
Commissioner Bauer.
Here.
Commissioner Gage.
Here.
Commissioner Gary.
Here.
Commissioner Lynn.
Here.
Commissioner Shimmons.
Here.
Commissioner Twardy.
Here.
Okay, we're all here. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, on behalf of the Commission, certainly a happy 4th of July holiday to everyone listening and our audience here. It's a great time in the city of Sault Ste. Marie, and I'm sure the Eastern UP with just great weather and a lot of activities and a lot of people. Just like to mention, our IT director is working tonight. She worked today, and it's her birthday. She's celebrating an anniversary of her 29th birthday. I'm not sure what anniversary, but Bonnie Raphael, that is. Thanks, Mon. Behind the glass. Item number 1, public comment on scheduled agenda items. Any person may reserve time to speak on an agenda item not to exceed 3 minutes per person. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to make a comment on an agenda item? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item number 2, the consent agenda. City Clerk, please.
Under the consent agenda, A, minute approval. 1, approval of the minutes of the regular City Commission meeting of June 15th, 2015. Recommended action, approve the minutes of the regular City Commission meeting of June 15th, 2015. Item 2, acceptance of the minutes of the following boards and commissions. A, Economic Development Corporation, May 12th. B, Planning Commission of May 14th. C, Planning Commission of June 25th. D, Sault Ste. Marie Housing Commission of May 21st. E, Tree Commission of May 19th. F, Tree Commission of June 16th. G, Zoning Board of Appeals of May 21st. And H, Zoning Board of Appeals, June 18th. Recommended action, accept the minutes of the various boards and commissions. Item B, appointments and resignations. 1, appointment to the Community Services Board. Recommended action, appoint Anthony Tony Haller to the Community Services Board to fill the balance of a term to expire on July 1, 2017. Item 2, resignation from the Community Services Board. Recommended action, accept the resignation of Don Dubanek from the Community Services Board for a term that is set to expire on July 1, 2017, and send a letter of thanks for her service. Item C, communications. 1, from War Memorial Hospital Auxiliary, approval of a resolution for charitable gaming license. Recommended action, approve a resolution for the Michigan Lottery recognizing War Memorial Hospital Auxiliary as a nonprofit organization for the purpose of obtaining a charitable gaming license.
Okay, thank you. Is there a commissioner that would like the consent agenda further explained an item? Not Commissioner Twardy.
I so move that we approve the consent agenda.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Are there any questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor Bosfus.
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer.
Yes.
Commissioner Gage.
Yes.
Commissioner Gary.
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Shimmons.
Yes.
Commissioner Twardy.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Item 3, communications. A, from the Downtown Development Authority, authorization to use Ani Osborne Field for Superfest concert.
Okay, thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. DDA Director Nepper is here to make a presentation on the subject matter tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission.
Evening, Justin.
Just a quick correction, it's actually Superior Fest, not Super Fest. But Super Fest sounds pretty good too.
Superior.
So just a quick rundown. A few months ago, Robin Cook here from Superior Entertainment, I'll introduce him in a second, approached the Downtown Development Authority about holding a concert downtown this summer, an outdoor concert. After a lot of work, we determined that the size of the concert that Superior Entertainment brings in pretty substantial, and we didn't quite have the room on the weekend that we were looking at, which was the weekend of sidewalk sales, which is also a bass fishing tournament and a few other things going on. And so Robin started exploring a few other options, came upon Ani Osborne Field, and it is a very nice field out just down Portage here. And so he was gracious enough to continue allowing the Downtown Development Authority to work with Superior Entertainment and Superior Fest as a possible partner in terms of some revenue sharing with the Downtown Development Authority. And one of the things that the Downtown Development Board had mentioned at our last few meetings is with our declining tax values downtown, some of our other financial challenges, we need to be extra creative in ways to increase our revenue, especially for our events, festivals, marketing, promotions, and that's where this event would fall in. So we've been working with Robin as well as Dan Myers with the Parks Department and city staff to come up with a plan that would bring a outdoor music concert to the field just on the east side of Ani Osborne. I think the lacrosse field is currently there, and Superior Entertainment would be responsible for setting up the concert and supplying a lot of the support that goes with that. And the Downtown Development Authority's role would be to work with the drink and the food tent and bring it and get the liquor license that would be associated with that, and that's where our revenue sharing would come in. So we're very excited about it. It's going to be a very busy weekend all around if the commission is willing to support this. We did talk to some of the stakeholders in the area. One of the events that used to be held there was the Locks Festival, I believe, for a while. And one of the concerns was the RV folks as well as the homes within the area and in terms of noise or sound levels. And so we talked to, this morning actually, I talked to Mr. Stevenson at the campground. He said most of the people that are there camping love outdoor concerts and would be very supportive. A few like to go to bed, 10, 11 o'clock, so he felt comfortable that 11 would be a fine time to go. And then we also measured some distances. The nearest house is a couple miles away, about 1.6 miles, so not a ton of noise there. And Robin has talked about positioning the stage where the sound would kind of go out towards the river as opposed towards the home. So we generally have a pretty good plan in place. I'll let Robin introduce himself and the company that he's associated with and talk a little bit about maybe the music that he's looking at and a few of those things. And then if anyone has questions for either of us, please let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Robin Cook. I'm from Sault Ste. Marie, born and raised, graduated in 2001. Went to Sioux High. I'm currently a home inspector for the Sioux Child Housing Authority. I've worked with them since I was 18. I am also the owner of Superior Entertainment. We looked at all the possibilities for bands. We're kind of in works with Coin Casino also for parking logistics that way to keep the area from getting too congested or gridlocked. We're looking at Lone Star and signing them this week if everything's a go. They've done a pretty consistent well at the Kuwait. Their numbers are 1575, which was a sellout, and 1480. So they're consistently around 1500. They haven't been here in about 5 years. We have Saving the Able, a rock and roll band who does pretty well around here. They're 500 to 1,000 people they bring. We have about 10 other bands. We have a band from Sault Ste. Marie, just that tour local venues, just local acts. We're bringing a band from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. There's a couple, maybe 3 or 4 different ones from Sioux, Michigan here. We're also looking at a band from Muskegon, from the Detroit, Saginaw area. And I think it's going to be a good turnout. It's a perfect day for it. With Justin working with us, I've also talked to the Legion. I know that they do a lot of events for charity, for the hospice halls, for veterans hospitals, things like that. I've talked to the Legion, and they're interested in getting them information so they can run like a barbecue tent, burgers, brats, hot dogs, things like that. I have a team of people in place. So we're gonna bring in security. I'm working with people to bring in to help us run the alcohol tent, the beer tent, and I think it's going to be an all-around good event. I think what Justin said, and to keep the town happy and to keep people fluctuating throughout the town afterwards, 11 to 11 might be a good time. If they want to give us a little grace period, just a little, because we're going to have some cleanup and getting people out of there, we'll kind of stop her at 11 and, make sure everybody's kind of out of there by 12 o'clock, 12:30-ish.
Questions? Just a question I guess I have is and I think it's a decent site I think Maloney's Alley is a better site, and I just wonder what were the, is there something that we need to do or the DDA needs to do to make, because Maloney's Alley is the focal point, and you have a number of people at the lock area, you've got the downtown on the first block in Portage here, west. So do you need electricity? Do you need more space? You need why can't it be Maloney's Alley?
Justin and I at first initially went and looked down there. There were, there's a very large parking garage. It kind of chops everything up, but we could work around that.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the old behavioral health building that could use some renovations, but we could probably hide the stage with that. Our problems were that the majority of the businesses around, there's a lot of businesses we'd have to coordinate with. All the, the Savoy Bar, the Frog, the Maloney's. And there's Subway right there, the Mole Hole. Then there's the building that the Salvation Army has just purchased. We'd have to clean the buildings up, coordinate so people can't sneak in and out and run back and forth through the buildings, kind of close them off and bring everybody on board. So it just seemed like and then the more we thought about it, there was a lot of, every time we'd go through it in our mind's eye and we discussed things with each other, there was always some kind of an obstacle. And every time I thought about it in my mind, I'd think the Maloney's Alley area, and then I just pictured Ani Osborne, how beautiful it is down there, and how wide open, and I mean, it's just we could make it work down there if we needed to. If that's what you guys felt that we needed to do, we could. I think it's just a very beautiful site there, so we've kind of been shifting gears back and forth between the two.
I just thought maybe that people were a little closer. A majority of people are closer to the lock area that wouldn't have to get in the car. They're already out of their cars walking around. They'd just come where all the songs were coming from.
I mean, both of them are good locations because the Ani Osborne, I could pull the Kuwait support in, and we could use shuttles, and they could use to shut off the back parking lot, truck people in and out. If we went, my thought was with the walleye tournament, then weighing in downtown, with the car show, with the sidewalk sales, I'm worried about over congestion, parking, and like possible gridlock. So that every time I go over it in my mind, I find a new obstacle. Ani Osborne just seems so beautiful, open, and appealing.
Well, you've done it before, and you're the organizer. So I was just wondering why, if there was something the city needed to do or the DDA needed to do to make Maloney's Alley more viable, because it just seems that you've got that 500,000 people in the lock area throughout the summer.
I think we could make it work potentially this time too, if you guys wanted to discuss it a little bit. I mean, we're obviously open to the discussion on that. I think we can make either venue work. If we do it at Maloney's, we just have to get the support of the local businesses in that area, because we don't want people coming in and out. It's a security risk. It's because you have the beer tent, you have to have people in, and we're kind of worried too if we can't use their parking lots. If they set up their own, one of the bars had mentioned that they might just set up a fence and let people just drink and watch the show for free. And we're kind of, we want to bring revenue for everybody involved.
Excellent.
And make it a good, clean, safe event, and make everybody, prosper out of it.
Okay, that's why you're organizing. I had the questions because you've done it before, so I just thought, that makes sense too. And Ani Osborne is an excellent venue.
Very beautiful.
Okay. Anyone else? Commissioner Bauer.
Yeah, I was just thinking something that Robin said here in regards to setting up in Maloney's Alley. I think a drawback from your standpoint is that you could stand to lose a lot of potential concert goers to like a kind of a peripheral setting if the businesses did fence off and people are basically getting a free concert.
Makes sense.
From a business standpoint, although I would probably benefit from that, but from your point of view, I wouldn't want to do that.
I think the downtown district will still benefit because we're going to get over at an early enough time where the bars and establishments downtown will still get some flow through. The Kuwaitan with their parking can get some flow through. I think it'll benefit all the hotels in town, the restaurants.
Okay.
It benefits the DDA and helping improve the downtown area. I think the Legion and the veterans or the hospice, whoever they decide to donate to, could really benefit from that.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Cook. Any other questions of Robin? Okay. Commissioner Bauer. There's two recommendations in discussion with the city attorney. That's one motion.
Okay. I move that the City Commission authorize an agreement with Superior Entertainment, Inc. to allow Ozzy Osbourne Field to be used for the outdoor music concert on August 8th, 2015, from noon until approximately 11 o'clock. It is further recommended that the City Commission authorize the sale of liquor at the Ozzy Osbourne Field on that day, Saturday, August 8th, 2015, for the outdoor music concert, subject to the rules of the Michigan Liquor Control Commission and any rules established by the city manager.
Support.
It's been moved, supported. A little PS, we're going to have to ask Commissioner Gage to change his wedding and reception.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Whoever is going to this and isn't at my wedding, we're gonna have words.
Yeah. No. Commissioner Torney.
I have a question, though. If my son's band is possibly playing at the festival, should I abstain from the vote?
City Attorney?
No, possible is not sufficient.
Excellent.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Gary.
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn,
Yes.
Commissioner Shimmons,
Yes.
Commissioner Twardy,
Yes.
Mayor Boswell.
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Good luck.
The next item under communications is item B, from the Historical Development Commission, allocation of Osborne Trust funds for Maple Ridge Cemetery sign.
Okay, thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. At the June 9th Historical Development Commission meeting, the HDC voted to recommend the expenditure of up to $1,000 in Osborne Trust funds to the Chippewa County Historical Society to have a date plaque commemorating the establishment date of the cemetery as 1874, designed, crafted, and affixed to the Maple Ridge Cemetery gate archway. The date would be crafted by blacksmith Bill Morrison, then sent for preparation and powder coating before being welded to the archway. City staff would coordinate the installation of the sign. And it's my recommendation that the City Commission approve the recommendation of the Historical Development Commission to allow up to $1,000 for a plaque at the Maple Ridge Cemetery to be installed as presented. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Twardy.
Just a comment before I make the motion. This has taken them quite a while and quite a bit of research to find the actual date. And as far as I know, this is like an approximation of what the date is of when the cemetery was first established. So it's
Could have
pretty
asked
cool.
me. I could have told you.
You're sure? I was going to say you might have been around.
Thought I'd beat you to it.
But it is going to look really beautiful, so once it's up, we'll have to make sure we go by and see. So I move that the City Commission approve the recommendation of the HDC to allow up to $1,000 for a plaque at the Maple Ridge Cemetery.
Support.
It's been moved, supported. Are there any questions or comments? Just that the power, the painting that is on the fence really lasted a couple of years now, so that the powder coated, is that what it's called? We had some problems initially with that fence in the city. It's no longer powder coated. So do we have to worry about the sign being powder coated?
I wouldn't powder coat the sign.
Okay. So our city manager will talk to them and get the same kind of finish that on the sign that is on the fence, because it was powder coated and didn't work.
That can
The
certainly
salt
be facilitated.
destroyed it, for the most part, so it had to be redone. So appreciate you at least giving that information. Any other comments? Roll call. Yeah. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Gary.
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn,
Yes.
Commissioner Shimmons,
Yes.
Commissioner Twardy,
Yes.
Mayor Boswell.
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 4 is the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Item A under the City Manager's report would provide for the approval of a contract with UP Engineers and Architects for construction engineering services for the utility and streetscape project on Ashman Street. As commissioners are aware, the construction for the Ashman Street streetscape and utilities project was bid through the Michigan Department of Transportation and is being completed via an MDOT administered contract. The Michigan Department of Transportation will perform the construction engineering services on the road and streetscape portion of the project. However, the city is responsible for the construction engineering services for the utilities portion of the project. UP Engineers and Architect was the design engineer for the project and selected through a competitive RFP process. It is customary for the city to hire the design engineer to perform the construction engineering services on projects such as this. At the time of this report, the Michigan Department of Transportation was still in the process of finalizing the construction contract with Elmer's Crane and Dozer, and every indication points that construction will tentatively begin during the week of July 13th next week. It is my recommendation that the City Commission approve the presented construction engineering services agreement with UP Engineers and Architects in the amount of $75,778 for the utilities portion of this project. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Gary.
I so move the City Commission approve the construction engineering services agreement with UP Engineers and Architects in the amount of $75,778.
Support.
It's been moved, supported. Are there any questions?
One thing to note too. for those-
Commissioner Gage?
Sorry, I apologize. One thing to note too, I don't know if it was mentioned by the manager. There was $340,000 that was budgeted for this. $130,000 has already been spent, so there's sufficient fund balance for this expenditure. I thought that was an important thing to note for those folks who may not have read the entire packet or the entire memo. So there's tons of money to do this.
Okay.
It's already been budgeted. So.
Okay, excellent. I think it's worth noting, or at least we should mention, how MDOT and the City of Sault Ste. Marie, this is as we all know, the construction from the Ashland Street Bridge south to Easterday Avenue, which is going to be very disruptive. We've already had maybe a month and a half of pretty intense construction in the downtown area, and we as a commission are concerned, and I know the administration is concerned, and hopefully the architect, and if Linda Basista was here, she would certainly be able to answer those questions, but I understand discussion with the city manager that himself and I think Justin have done, along with the city staff, has done a lot of legwork in the communication with the store owners and the retail owners in the area to try and limit the amount of disruption. And if you could just speak a few minutes about how we're going to handle that. Thanks.
Good evening again. This construction project is, from the Downtown Development Authority's perspective, as well as all the businesses from the Ashland Bridge, Sheridan Street down to Easterday, probably one of the most exciting things that will be done when we get through it next year. During construction, it's going to be very challenging. We're pretty pleased, at least from what I've heard so far, with the cooperation that MDOT as well as Elmer's Crane and Dozer is having with the city in terms of how the logistics will be handled. And the latest that I have heard, and I guess tentatively speaking, because there are still a lot of loose ends to tie up, is that the way they would handle the construction is by doing only one side of the road at a time until it's completely done. So it's 5 lanes, 2 parking lanes, 2 drive lanes, and then your turn lane in the center, if you can picture that. And all of my understanding is that pretty much when Elmer's starts, they would cut right down the center of the turn lane from right there just south of H&H Auto Sound and UP Engineers Building. And I think start on the west side, so go right up to the building edges where Wicked Sister just opened, and all of those buildings down to Look Insurance on the south corner. Redo all of the pavement and sidewalks on that side in some form or fashion, and then after a month or two, when that's done, open that up when that's all paved. Cars will begin to drive on that side, and then switch over to the east side and finish that by the deadline of October 15th. So hopefully that's how it would work. There will always be, from everything that I've understood, a one-way north on hopefully paved street, and then one-way south during the entire construction project. And the other understanding I have is that they may or may not use the option of working at night. And there are some periods of time where the evening hours they would have the ability to close down the whole street late at night. So with that being said, one of the things the Downtown Development Authority is working very hard to do is coordinate with all the business owners. There's over 27, almost 30 businesses in the strip that will be affected. We're working right now. We've had weekly or bi-weekly meetings, mostly focused on kind of the the actual hands-on stuff that businesses have the ability to do, how to market during construction, how to advertise during construction, how to cooperate. I've been very pleased to see the amount of cooperation between the business owners. We just met with the CC Hall, I think a week and a half ago, about all their parking available along the Power Canal, and the CC Hall board voted, I believe, last week to allow the business owners and customers and shoppers to park in their parking lot in exchange for the Downtown Development Authority and the businesses promoting some of their events that may be coming up, and to encourage people to go to the CCL and support them. So we're really excited about that. Pingator Cleaners has been very good with their neighbors, as well as H&H Auto and a lot of those businesses. And then it's mostly the west side businesses that really are the most affected. So we're really working hard to make sure that that block from Leroy to Ann is taken care of. Linda Basista, myself, and some of the other staff are looking at ways to make Ann Street very parking oriented. And then we're working on, hopefully this week and next week, we'll be working with all the neighbors and the residents in Little Italy to make sure that they're aware of what's going on. We are working on a map that's almost done that will be reviewed by a few people. Hungry Howie's has said they'll put the map on all their pizza boxes that are going out. Super Value to put in their mailings that show people where to go, where alternate routes are. So how to get onto Court Street, how to get onto Brown Street, and then the map shows every single business and where they're located. So still a long way to go. There's still some businesses, to be honest, that I haven't been able to get in touch with the best yet. A few, like if Town and Country Pet Salon is watching, I need to talk to you sometime soon. So there are a few businesses that if you want to cross with people, please direct them my way. More than happy to talk to them and meet with them. But in general, everybody is pretty pretty well aware of what's happening. I think they're coming up with ways to be ready for it. So I think if construction right now, everybody on that block understands that it's tentatively starting within the next week or two, and we're really getting ready to go gung-ho on it.
Commissioner Gary has a comment.
I just wanted to mention, if anybody's been into Traverse from the north in the last 3 or 4 months, that's the same type of construction that they're doing, and that is Elmer's. Elmer's is a Traverse City excavating company. They also did a big project in Manistee, so they redid all the streets there. they did an excellent job. They were on time and on budget, and they did a really nice job with the landscaping after they're done. So they're a good company. I think they're working on the highway as well. So hopefully we'll have some good success. And if they can reroute Traverse City like that, I think they can do downtown Sioux, I would hope.
Right.
And the Downtown Development Authority, we're working on signage that will
Okay.
be on the different corners showing people where businesses are. And then the other thing that the business owners are involved in, and any downtown residents or area or community residents, stakeholders are more than welcome to be involved, is we're working on, as construction progresses, finalizing the kind of the funner details. Where do we plant trees? Where do the benches go? Where do the trash cans go? All of those exciting things that will really transform that block.
Okay, excellent. I think our city manager, Oliver Turner, has something.
Just one comment to add to what Justin mentioned, and Justin and Linda Basista have done a great job coordinating with MDOT and the contractor so far. The only thing I was going to add is that there are tentatively planned to be weekly project meetings that would include the business owners, tentatively scheduled for every Wednesday afternoon. The times will be forthcoming, but that's part of the consistent effort to try to continue that communication and dialogue with the business owners that are affected.
Any, Commissioner Twardy?
Just a comment, I think the maps are a good idea. As you know, I live on an Armory Place, and the other day I tried to leave my street, and I just could not figure out how to get to my store. I ended up almost pretty much leaving the island and then circling way back around. But I also think it's really important that we make sure that we are hitting those businesses on that south end of Ashman Street and going to them as often as we can, because we do not want to lose any of those businesses during this project.
Absolutely, that's something that I wanted to stress very much, is that the Downtown Development Authority, city staff, even the city commission, no matter how much we do, it's incredibly important that the community gets behind the businesses that are affected, the organizations that are affected. The Sioux Tribe has 2 businesses in that section. There's a lot of different people that do a lot of business. There's a tremendous amount of people that drive through that area, a lot of people that live there, and it needs to be really all hands on deck in terms of supporting those businesses. I mean, a great example that I am thinking of even right now with the businesses that are affected, Dawson. The library's been affected 2 years in a row with construction on Dawson Street. Don Wilson Insurance, the small mall, Sioux Falls Credit Union, and then on Spruce Street right now, Easy Mart, our only downtown gas station, is on all sides they've been affected, and we're stopping in and visiting those people all the time. But it's really important, even though it takes that extra minute and a half, 2 minutes to weave through construction, to stop in and at least give a little bit of your business to those people that are affected by the construction, check in and see how they're doing.
Those are excellent comments. And the community does get behind different projects and activities, so I'm hopeful that they will continue to do that. It's no question that they will be affected, and we can certainly help them not be as affected by just stopping by and buying in that area. So, Commissioner Bauer.
The hourly rate schedule for these people is mind-blowing to me. There's not a single one of them that makes under $39 an hour, and that's a clerical aide. We're looking at people making $171 an hour, $161 an hour, $159 an hour. No wonder it costs $75,000. Seriously?
City Manager?
That doesn't go out to bid, does it?
Those are the professional contracts?
Right.
Right, the professional service in this instance would not.
Probably should.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Seriously?
It's
City Ma-
Just a point of clarification on that specific contract, I believe, if you're referring to the EP engineer's contract, and I'm not by any means saying that that's a good thing to have those prices, but in the beginning stages of the work, there was a bid that did go out to multiple professional architects and engineering firms that were working on that project, and the commission, I believe, and the city staff, I believe Linda Basista and some others coordinated the bid process, and I think they were the most reasonable and had the best at that time. I don't know about this specific, this is a sub bid to that original contract, I believe.
And I would just simply add to that, that from what we've studied as far as rate schedules with city engineering and the other rate schedules I've seen in other projects, this appears to be within the standard range, although it is an expense.
Commissioner Shimmons.
I would just like to throw out the possibility of adding the inspection services to the original package when we go out looking for the architect engineer for our projects. It's done separately and it's not bid out, although, you know, we do get bids for the original contract. But when I was the director of housing, the inspection services were part of that original bid. So you knew going in exactly what that was going to cost you through the whole project, including inspection.
Sure. I certainly understand, and I do know that the standard practice has been to award the construction services to the design engineer, although we can absolutely take a look at the purchasing policy and make sure that appropriate changes are incorporated as administration.
Okay. Any other questions of Justin? Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for the update. Okay, we have motion and support on, okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gary,
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn,
Yes.
Commissioner Shimmons,
Yes.
Commissioner Tuorty,
Yes.
Mayor Bosmas,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Feel that?
I don't think our doctors make that much money.
Item B under the city manager's report provides for the scheduling of closed meetings to discuss the status and possible settlement of the Michigan Tax Tribunal case with Walmart. As explained within the memorandum, City Attorney Canello and I would like to brief the Commission on the status of the Michigan Tax Tribunal case with Walmart in closed session immediately following the adjournment of this meeting. Accordingly, I recommend that the City Commission hold a closed session for the purpose of discussing the status of the Michigan Tax Tribunal case with Walmart immediately following this meeting. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Lynn.
Your Honor, I so move that we go to a closed meeting after our regular commission meeting to discuss Walmart.
Support.
It's been moved.
Bunch of crap.
It's been moved and supported. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lynn,
You won't have that in.
Commissioner Lynn,
Yes.
Commissioner Shimmons,
Yes.
Commissioner Tuorty,
Yes.
Mayor Bosmas.
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Gary.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. That concludes the-
That concludes the city manager's report. Thank you,
Okay,
Mayor.
thank you. Item number 5 is matters presented by the public. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to make a comment at this time? Okay, hearing none, we'll go to item number 6, the City Commission. Commissioner Bauer.
Just wanted to mention that Stars presents Camelot this coming week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at the Sioux Theater, and Sunday afternoon with a matinee.
Excellent. Okay. Commissioner Tuorty.
Thank you. I know a lot happened last weekend. I just wanted to mention the Slash and Ashman event that took place on Friday night. And Don Kelly and Justin I think, did a fantastic job arranging that. I was surprised at how many cars came out. It was just like it was when I was a kid back in the 80s. But Don Gary was just a little bit older, Slash and Ashman, than he was when I was the kid in the 80s. But it was really, really great. It was fun to see all the really old cars and the muscle cars out there revving their engines, and it was just fun to see people on Ashman Street. One thing I thought that maybe you could do a little bit different next year is invite one of the radio stations to come down and interview the really cool cars that were coming through, find out a little bit more about their car, who they are, how long they've owned it, and if they grew up in Slash Dash when they were kids.
Those are excellent comments. I would think it's just the first year, so that
Yeah.
each year I think it can be a festival type. I mean, there were easily 500 cars, and that social media really works in those respects. And people were talking to each other, and all of a sudden they'd be downtown. We had gotten busy and forgot about it, but then somebody that was with me has one of the iPhones, and they go, "Hey, there's a picture in their slash and ashman, so we decided, let's do that. I mean, we used to do that as kids, and thank God that party doesn't end in an everyday event, because it'd be tough to get through all the traffic with the summer tour season we have. So, but for one day a year, it's nice to relive some of those memories and the cars. It'd be nice if everybody had the same radio song on. You know, if you could somehow make that happen. But it was a great event, and it looks like it's really popular, and I'm sure each year going forward it'll get better and better. And it was nice to see all the different cars, and I think the radio station, and I mean, it can really grow, you know. Commissioner Gage.
Being that I didn't grow up slashing ash, I didn't quite understand the fun of driving up and down Ashland. I didn't think that would be fun at all, but I had quite the fun time. It was a blast. It was great, and my dog Meatball absolutely loved it. So, absolutely
Excellent.
loved it.
What about Lindsay?
Lindsay loved it too. Lindsay loved it.
Anyone else? No. Item number 7, Commissioner Lynn.
Your Honor, I would so move that we close this meeting and go into closed session.
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.